1.5 million square feet. We're under 5 buildings. We have 4 here. Our 5th building's in Camarillo. We have air compressors here. We got 3 of them that operate the whole factory to power all the machines. All of our machines run off of compressed air and also coolant. So the machines that machine our parts, we actually burn off the water and the coolant, and we will recycle the coolant to be reused. Our aluminum casting yard is right here. We go through 175,000 pounds a month in just aluminum castings. Our side mount tool changers, transmissions are made out of aluminum castings. Over 70% of our aluminum comes from right here in the US. Our bar stock is right here. We consume 1 million pounds of bar stock a month. So every day we get a truckload in to meet our demands. They will be loaded onto the Akuma cells down there, and those Akumas will actually cut the stock to whatever dimensions we need. There's a generator here that we power up in case we get a rolling blackout. This will help power the factory in case we need to. Now we're going to come into the machining department. These machines will take a blank piece of material, such as that aluminum housing right there. It'll be finished in the machine, and then once we take it out, it'll be moved to a sub-assembly department where we will complete the assembly process. All these robot cells have up to 3 to 4, sometimes 5 machines. If one machine breaks down, we will take it offline, and the other machines will be responsible for finishing all the parts. We are a 24/7 operation facility, so all night these machines will be running. When the guys come in during the morning, they will offload all the finished parts and reload fresh parts. Right here, our EC400 pallet pool is currently making coolant filter baskets. That's all that machine will ever make. Coming up on our right is where we make our wedges for our lathes. These wedges are comprised of 3 to 4 different castings. What we do here is we assemble the wedge as one complete assembly. We will actually load this assembly into the EC630, and that turret will get indexed. When it ever gets indexed on each new tool, we machine that with respect to one data point, which is the surface that the trucks and linear guides get mounted to. And we do that to ensure the accuracy of the complete assembly. If we machined everything separate and assembled it together, we're gonna get a pretty big tolerance stack up. So we do this to minimize our tolerances. Up to 143 pallets in the cell. We have 5 machines that are running 24/7. And each machine has up to 330 tools. These cells only do one specific type of material. So this one only machines class 30 cast iron. If ever you see a red casting on the floor, that means it's a first article part. That's how we track a first article part to make sure it doesn't get mixed up with production. So the operator will load slugs onto the table, and once the machine is done, the door will open, it'll put a new part in, and it'll put the finished part on the pallet. This is a special part right here. We call it a ballum. It's a base and a column designed into one complete casting. So what we do here is we actually machine it on 2 operations. The reason why we do that is so that way the guys don't need to stack the column and the base together. We do that to reduce our tolerance stack up. Our calibrations lab is located under this mezzanine. We calibrate up to 10,000 tools a year. We used to have an outside company come in and calibrate our tools, but we hired individuals that actually do that for us now here. When these machines are not being worked on, they're actually going through the motions right now. They're running a program called 6000, which moves all the axes. If a machine breaks down, we can figure out what component failed and we can fix it before it leaves the factory. It's an EC400. This is the first prototype that we built. It features a 100-pocket tool changer on its side. This is a 4-axis machine. Currently the largest tool changer we offer is a 50-pocket. That's going to be a 100-pocket. The machine will cycle up to 1 million times to ensure that the tool changes are working properly. This machine started on Tuesday, so it's currently running. up to 1 million cycles. When the design team is not putting prototype parts on here, this machine is running like this unattended. And we're also going to look at our UMC 1000, which is a first prototype machine. It's a big brother to the UMC 750. We're increasing the X, Y, and Z travels on this machine. So a benefit that we're adding to this machine is you could attach a Kurt vise or any other vise onto the side of that platter, so you can machine a dovetail into your piece of aluminum or steel which you're cutting, so you don't got to take up another machine to just put a dovetail on. This NASCAR is kind of special to Gene. This was a first ever NASCAR to win a race, and after the race, Gene decommissioned this car, and it sits up in building 1 in our demo room where you can look at it. Mark Terryberry shoots all of our tip of the day videos here. If you ever want to know how a machine operates, a special feature such as P-Cool, Tool Life, you guys can look up videos, and that's more educational for our customers. This right here is a 4-sided tombstone. This actually making 24 pocket side mount tool changers. So it'll make 4 tool changers at a time. We go through about 2 of these green chip bins a day. So twice a day, a company comes in, takes off all of our chips. We recycle everything here. Our casting yard is our largest consumable item here. We go through about 450,000 pounds of cast iron a month. Over 9 million pounds a year are processed here at Haas. If we did not receive a truckload in from now until 30 days, this yard would be pretty much empty. This is enough cast iron to last us for 30 days of operations. %70 of our cast iron is imported. We have 30% domestic casting yards. If you ever see a yellow casting, that's usually a first article or a prototype part. That's how we separate. We use gray cast iron class 30 here due to its properties, its strength to weight ratio, its vibration dampening properties. This floor here is actually laser leveled. The reason why it's laser leveled is because some of these guys are up 30 feet in the air and they can move around. If it wasn't laser leveled, they could probably flip and topple over. Row 15 through 30 actually has magnetic strips on its floor. The magnetic strips are what operate the forklifts. The forklifts run on their own. The driver of the forklift picks parts. He tells his iPad, which runs SAP, that he has picked the parts, and then the forklift will move to the next location on its own. There's over 17,000 pallet rack spaces here. We house over 22,000 part numbers. There's over $50 million in inventory here. To our left, that 2-story structure is where we house all of our spare parts. Throughout the world at our HFOs, we house over $75 million of spare parts. Our goal is to have customers up and running within a day or 2.